What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, as well as the S&P 500. As you guys know, we are still doing our crypto coin display giveaway right here. All you have to do to enter to win one of these is comment your favorite crypto down in the comment section below, as well as comment subscribed, as I will be checking. And if you're not subscribed, you won't win one of these. But literally just do that, those two things, comment your favorite altcoin crypto as well as subscribed, and you will be entered for the drawing on Sunday. More importantly, what we're going to be looking at in today's video is the small correction that we're starting to have within these major cryptocurrencies. This was talked about for days now, preparing for how we would react to the top resistance on most of these altcoins, including Bitcoin. As you saw in the past, we were retesting levels at around $50,000, which is a huge mental barrier within most of these cryptocurrencies. And we discussed in specific how we would not buy into any of these cryptocurrencies until we confirmed a breach above those resistances. And if we do not see it, we could be entering a short position and shorting the markets back down to bottom supports when we do see that confirmation. So what we're going to be going over in today's episode is how are we looking? Are we going to be entering a short soon? What's the next opportunity for this approach? Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's jump into today's episode. All right, so starting off, top 10 cryptocurrencies, we're down about 4.8%, still above $2 trillion overall. Really not doing that bad. I mean, XRP is down 7%, Bitcoin's down 3%, Ethereum down 5%, Cardano down 7%, Binance down 2%. We're not seeing like an incredible drop to the downside, and I'm not sure why all you guys are so panicked about the video I made yesterday. Literally, if you watched the video, you would have seen clear as day that we are talking mainly how XRP and these cryptos were going to react to their top resistances. We discussed in depth when the appropriate time would be to buy in and how we would react to it if we decided to correct lower. And granted, the fact that even though we are starting to correct slightly lower, that still is volume leaving the market, and that still is an increase in volume. So what we're starting to do now, moving forward, for those that are confused, and I understand, is how are we going to buy in for some movement like this? Well, if you start by looking at Bitcoin, this is really the big ticker and giveaway. When I saw us retest the top resistance yesterday and not actually manage to close above the resistances, but we actually started to reverse lower, I wasn't worried until I saw Bitcoin, and I wasn't worried the entire time, but I was looking for how exactly Bitcoin was going to close and influence the rest of these cryptos like XRP, which I will talk about in 1 second, but mainly my focus was on Bitcoin. As we remember, hopefully for most of you guys within the charting of Bitcoin for the past couple of weeks, you've known that we've had a very big uptrend here in regards to support. We've had a long uptrend, a long support. We've had a top trend line acting as resistance. We discussed how exactly this could potentially fill out. Are we going to hit this top resistance and correct lower and fill in the gap? All this is going to do is that we didn't see the groundhog didn't see a shadow, or he did see a shadow, and there's another couple weeks left for winter, which is still the same thing for this bear market right here. Yes, we did see a nice bottom resistance or reversal, and we did swing back to the upside, but you can see right now that we are still hitting this top resistance level, that trend line. There is still 50K acting as a big barrier for the price. Not to say we can't break through it in the next couple of days, but it brings our attention and focus to how are we going to react within this. As you guys can see, there still is beautiful higher lows, and as usual with these higher lows, when you see runs in cryptocurrency that take a couple of days for prices that just continuously go up in price from 44,000 all the way up to 49,000, or honestly, we could even go from 30,000 all the way up to 49K. We usually tend to see, or you start to think that there's going to be some sort of correction. It's only, it's only within nature to assume that there's going to be a reversal soon. Now, honestly, we didn't look too bad with the closure of Bitcoin. We still have a beautiful support level that's holding on very well. Everything really depends on how exactly we're going to trend with this. I'm really not expecting us now to breach to the top resistance. As we discussed yesterday, clear as day, if we don't close above like 50,500, or I think we said 50.8 or 50.5. If we don't close above that resistance up here, then we're not buying in long. It was literally that simple. And I didn't put in any positions to buy in long because we didn't close above the levels that we needed. And ultimately, as we discussed in depth, we are getting sandwiched in between a big movement right here, which means volume is coming regardless of which direction we're going to be moving to, whether that's a big surge to the upside or a big surge to the downside. So ultimately, let's see how we play out right now. We did correct back down ever so slightly, only 2 days worth of candles, but if we get if we break this support, as you can clearly see, which we've been using for quite some time now, we've had 1, 2, 3, and now starting to create a fourth confirmation of this support level. If we close below it, and we close at about $46,000, that's going to be where it is for me. We close about 46K, then we enter a short position and we short it down to 41K, if not all the way down to about 33K. There is that big possibility of a drop. There is this big possibility that 40K is the next run, and then potentially like 33 to 35K, which would ultimately only be a factor in a bigger movement coming to Bitcoin and some of these cryptos, which would allow us to consolidate, fill in the gap, and then see what I would think is a big breach off of here, sending us up to all-time highs. It's coming, guys. Just wait. I'm really not too worried. This is a short-term correction, and if anything, it's just going to allow us to pump even higher when the next one comes. But in the interim, we can at least capitalize on what could be a big drop in Bitcoin by just literally shorting it on Bityard, which we have linked in the description, and you guys can check out right here. We just literally enter in a short. We do 10 times the leverage. Right here we do like 10 times the leverage or 15 times the leverage. We then put in a market order, type in, let's say 1,000 or 7,100, whatever, and we just click sell short, and we capitalize on the fact that we could be dropping lower. Also consider this. I mean, we are still retesting our moving averages right here. Yes, we broke through the 5-day, but we are leaning on the 10-day and what will be the 20-day moving averages as a means of support. So it really depends on how this market wants to react to it. We're still not, bearish yet. We're not still reversing to a short position. Things still look totally fine. We're literally just taking another day to consolidate in here. Hopefully you guys understand that by now. Now, for those people worried about XRP and understanding, I mean, I was getting comments yesterday saying that we're dropping, we're falling, it's terrible, it's over. I mean, again, not really that worried. Let's just check out XRP. We've had for weeks now, literally weeks, of this consolidation. We started from 53 cents and went all the way up to $1.30, and literally from July 22nd to August, that's literally less than a month. We had less than 4 weeks. We shot up we literally doubled our price of crypto, doubled our price of XRP, and continued to rally up. I'm not worried. I mean, you guys should anticipate that there is at some point going to be a correction that will only help us pump higher. So again, I'm not worried. There still are higher lows on the table here for XRP, and there are still, higher lows on the table for Bitcoin. So until we breach those, then we can confirm that we're definitely starting to head more to a bearish scenario, a correction back to the downside, but we haven't yet. There still is, how I see it, a support on XRP, which would be right about here. So I don't plan on shorting XRP just yet. I mean, there's still plenty of opportunities here. Yes, there still is a downtrend, as we discussed within Bitcoin too, as we showed that there's a big symmetrical triangle forming. The same thing is applying itself on XRP. There's a beautiful support level, clear as day right here, and a beautiful trend line downtrend, clear as day right there. And as we discussed, there's a clear resistance, a price ceiling that cuts right through the prices here. We discussed that if we manage to just go, crazy with the volume, we would actually see volume trickle us in. And if we closed closer to about $1.35, as we mentioned, that this would be a good opportunity for us to close and buy in for a long. That's what we discussed. Again, volume was coming regardless of direction. I always say that. It's just figuring out when the time period is going to happen, which it happened yesterday as anticipated. Now, what we were looking for is how are we going to react with the trend line, with the price ceiling, with the downtrend. Are we going to close above here, closing above $1.35, allowing us to buy in, anticipating the direction that we're moving to, which obviously broke bearish. But what we're seeing now is another confirmation of this downtrend, of the trend line. So what is that allowing me to do? I mean, right off the bat, I want to buy in for a short. I mean, once again, we had to wait for confirmation of direction, which, as you can see, the candle closed below support here. There's a very small opportunity. We could fall from $1.13 potentially down to $1.02. This is probably where support is at $1, and we'll fill in the gap here and eventually retest the market again. You can see the way that consolidation is moving, or we're going to short it and it's going to correct back down to potentially 90 cents to bottom support. Regardless, we're starting to flip bearish. I want to let kind of everything play out a little more. You can even see for Ethereum how we did just breach through that resistance. Honestly, I'm probably going to enter a short position on some of these cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is definitely one of the interesting ones that looks like it's ready to create the short opportunity. So here's my plan. Even Cardano is starting to become overbought. I mean, these were all anticipated. We were definitely overbought when we were retesting this top resistance here, but it was pretty much just letting us figure out, okay, do we have enough steam and enough volume to allow us to breach here? We could have easily broken through. We could have closed right above the daily, right above the trend lines and the resistances, closed the daily at 3,500 for Ethereum. We would have bought in long, but because we did not get the confirmation that we closed above, we did not buy in. So we're entering for a short position. It's very easy math, guys. And ultimately, looking at Ethereum now, I mean, this lines up very close with Bitcoin and even, XRP. We're in this trend line, and we got rejected clear as day from top resistances. We were overbought, starting to correct lower. I'm actually going to put in a short, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm putting in a short position, anticipating prices to either fall to 2,800. We'll move stop losses down, and then potentially down to its moving average. And I mean, at a rock bottom, it could be this bottom support here, which looks good. You can see why we would come down at this bottom support here. But what we're doing is entering a short position, creating a stop loss, and hear me out. Put that stop loss right about here at 30, I would say like 3,400. Maybe even, honestly, 3,300 would be okay. Literally at those necklines, at these resistances right here. Bitcoin, clear neckline right here. We have actually yet to break through our uptrend on Bitcoin currently. So I would actually let Bitcoin specifically play out. If we see Bitcoin close below the uptrend here, then I'll put my short in for Bitcoin. Ethereum already confirming a breach below this support. And XRP is already starting to correct lower. You could put in a small opportunity to short XRP. It's really up to you. But markets are starting to trend lower. And Cardano is also probably going to start to reverse to the downside as all of these are starting to hit major resistances within its major symmetrical triangle. We tried to attempt to break through it early, but it did not happen. And that's totally fine. We honestly can just finish playing out the Elliott wave formation, see how exactly we play out with this, and then kind of pick things up from there. Let me just draw it out for you guys. Elliott wave right here. We start at the bottom, move it up. Let's go like this. 1, 2, 3. We're waiting for a fourth correction and then a fifth just like this. You can see kind of how that Elliott wave is forming. So we're at the third. We completed that. I'm anticipating a correction now within most of these cryptos down to support here and then flipping back to the upside. So hopefully that helps answer some of your questions. Definitely make sure to enter the giveaway as you can see here. Comment, subscribe, as well as your favorite crypto. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.